Good morning. Today I'm going to discuss about next problem on CAPM model, that is video number 8 today on practical problems. Last videos we discussed about one of the question paper problems. Let's solve today. We'll move for the next problem on CA model will be appear on the question papers, that is question paper 2017 from our Anichanama University for 15 marks. See the question, it is: assume CAPM equilibrium model with unlimited borrowing and lending at the riskless rate of interest. Complete the blanks in the following tables. Means here they given the tables and there the complete the blanks they are mentioned. Means they want to find out that missing informations related to three securities, security A, B and C, and they are mentioned here CAPM equilibrium model with unlimited borrowing and lending with riskless rate of interest. Means riskless rate of interest will be there, unlimited borrowing and lending. Now the question they ask here, you should complete the blanks. So what things will be the missing here? Security A expected return is given, then standard deviation, next column beta is there, and residual variance. Residual variance means your unsystematic risk. Okay, so here security A's purpose return is already given, expected returns. Standard deviation is missing, beta is there, and residual variance is there. So for the security A you should find out standard deviations. Next for security B, expected rate return is not given, standard deviation given, beta is given, then residual variance is given. So for security B you should find out expected returns, and for security C we want to find out regarding expected return is given, standard deviation is not given, beta is given, and residual variance, that is unsystematic risk. So for security A and security C we should find out regarding standard deviation of A and C, and for security B we should find out your expected rate of return. So that is, we should complete the table blanks values. So as per this table we should find out that two standard deviation we should calculate and one expected returns. So let's find out that how to calculate your filling the blanks of your tables. That is, ways to go for first calculation of expected return on return of security B. So first we should find out that is expected return, then we'll move for standard deviation of A and C. Now how to find out this expected return? That is, standard deviation given, beta is given, and residual variance is given. When this complete blank of questions will comes, then you can use the formula, not your CAPM model, but you can use the equation, that is Ri is equal to Ra plus beta into Rm. That is your characteristics line equation you can use to find out the missing information purpose, because here this, that is equation we can use expected rate of return of security B, and with the help of how to find out your expected rate of return, that is B, where we used to know that security A is there, security C's return is there, standard deviation is missing, beta is there, residual variance is there. We want to find out the security B purpose. So let's find out that with the help of security A and security B we can calculate security B's return, put expected return and beta in equation of security A and B, because we don't know what is the return of A. So that's purpose we should find out the risk-free rate of return and market returns. First of all we will find out the RF value and RM values. With the help of that we should find out your risk-free rate of expected rate of return of security B. So using your security A values and B, we are determine the equation, that is security A and security B. That is, we are putting the formula Ri is equal to Ra plus beta into Rm. Security A return is given in the problem 0.30 is equal to Rf, we don't know, plus beta of A, it is 2.5 Rm. So this is our first equation, and security B, that is 0.10 is equal to Rf plus 0.60 into Rm, because we want to find out that is beta security beta's returns. So we can find out the A's and B's equations, and after that we can use that simultaneous equation method, that is substitute the equation and find out Rm values, or you can use your Rf value, but here Rf value you can use, you can find out first. You should find out Rm value, because Rf value is not given, it is similar one. So by using above the two equation, that is equation number 1 and equation number 2, 0.30 is to Rf plus 2.50 Rms, and next 0.10 into Rf, 0.60 into Rm. Then let's change the sign, that is plus minus minus minus, then the same value we can cancel, that is Rf value we are going to be cancels. So left to the portion 0.30 minus 0.10 will left 0.20, 2.50 minus 0.60 will get 1.90 rm, because rm value it is as it is there. So rf is cancelled. So find out first rm value. So to find out rm values, we should use 0.20 comes to 1.90. So 0.20 divided by 1.90 is equal to rm. So therefore rm is equal to 0.11. So that is here, using two equation of security A and B, we should find out now RMs. Once we find out the RM values, let's find out your risk-free rate of return also. How the risk-free return will be used, that is substituting RM value in the first equation to find out RF value, that is RM is equal to 0.11. that is we calculate, that is RM is equal to 0.11. So you can use any one of the equation, that is either we can go for first or you can go for second equations, and we can find out that how will be the RM value it is there. Okay, so that is will be, you know, this first equation or any one of the equation you can use, and you should find out the RF values, putting that RM is equal to 0.11. So we are using first equations where 0.30 is to RF plus 2.50 RM. That is first equation we use. We put RM is equal to 0.11. So 0.11 into 2.50 will come 0.275, and we want RF values. So comes to the 0.30 minus, here will plus, will comes minus this side, 0.275 is equal to RF. So RF is equal to 0.025. Once we find out that is your RM values, that is, and RF values, now we can use the equation, that is, as we calculate for missing values purpose, Ri is equal to Ra plus beta into RMs. So RF we calculate 0.025 plus 0.80 beta, that is beta for security B we can take. See, security B's beta it is already given, that is beta, that is 0.80 we can use. We cannot use for A and C. Okay, already beta is given in the security B. So using that 0.8 of security beta, 0.8, RM we calculate 0.11. So multiply with that, we will get 0.88, and that is 0.088 plus 0.025. it will comes return of, that is security, that is 0.113 for the missing value of security return, that is expected return of security B, that is Ri is equal to 0.113. Once we find out the return, see the next question, we should find out that we calculate now this value, that is 0.113. now we should find out the standard deviation of A and standard deviation of C. So how to find out the standard deviation of A and C? We should find out that how the standard deviation can be used. Let's find out the standard deviations. Calculation of standard deviation of security A and security C. See that how we are going to be standard deviation is equal to, normally standard deviation equation is equal to square root of systematic risk plus unsystematic risk, because we know that total risk is equal to systematic risk plus unsystematic. But to determine the total risk will be used standard deviations. So standard deviation purpose, systematic risk plus unsystematic risk. Unsystematic risk it is given in the problems. Only the things it is we should find out systematic risk. But again in the problem systematic risk it is not given. So what is the formula should calculate? Systematic is equal to beta square into market variance, that is standard deviation square m, that is we are denoted as market variance will be there. But here again the question market variance is not there. So we can use another things, that is to be find out systematic risk we can use a total variance minus unsystematic risk. Total variance means standard deviations square minus unsystematic risk. Unsystematic risk we are going to be already given in the problem. So we can use these equations, and then to find out the systematic risk we can find out your market variance, and with the help of market variance we can determine your standard deviation of A and C. Now let's see that total variance it is there. Total variance systematic risk is equal to, how this equation we can use. Total variance means standard deviation square minus unsystematic risk. Unsystematic risk is already there. Now we should find out the standard deviation. Now standard deviation it is not there for A and C, but with the help of B standard deviations, see security B standard deviation how much it is. Standard deviation B standard deviation is 0.27. we can determine standard deviation of A and C. So we can take 0.27. okay, 0.27 standard deviation means 0.27. we are find out total variance. So variance means standard deviation square. So 0.2 square minus unsystematic risk of B only we can take. See the B security standard deviation, that is unsystematic risk is 0.05. so that value we can take to we determine your standard deviation, that is system decrease purpose. 0.27 square minus 0.05 will get 0.0729 minus 0.05, so we'll get system decrease 0.0229. Now once we find out the system decrease, now the question is we want the major things, that is beta is already there, but we want market variance. So using that first equation, that is system decrease is equal to beta square into market variance. So system decrease we calculate 0.0229 is to beta square, that is beta will be taken about, see the beta of that is your b only, you can take beta square, that is 0.8 square, we can take b only to we find out market variance. So we have taken about a 0.0229 is equal to 0.80 square into market variance we don't know, so we'll put as it is. 0.80 square will come 0.60, will come 0.229 divided by 0.64 will comes market variance is equal to 0.04. market variance is common for each security A, B, C. So we find out the market variance for B purpose. So with the help of this market variance, we should determine system decrease. Once we find out the system decrease, we can use this equation and find out the standard deviation of security A and C. Now here we made calculation for what purpose? For security A and C, we want standard deviations. Standard deviation purpose, we know the equation, that is systematic risk plus unsystematic risk, that is total risk is equal to systematic risk plus unsystematic, square root means standard deviation of total risk. Now unsystematic risk is already given, we want systematic risk, so that purpose we should determine the market variance. So market variance purpose first equation is not useful, but the second one we can use with the help of security B. So we have taken standard deviation of security B, we are making square minus unsystematic risk of security B will get systematic risk, and with the help of systematic risk we should find out market variance, because market variance is common for A also, security A, security B and security C also. So therefore using that systematic risk, and we will determine the ultimately market variance, that is 0.04. So with the help of market variance, now we will find out your standard deviation of A also and C also. See, first we can go for standard deviation of security, that is for A purpose. So how we are determined standard deviation is equal to systematic plus unsystematic risk. Systematic risk formula beta square into standard market variance plus unsystematic. Beta already it is there. See beta of take that beta of, now we are finding for standard deviation of A. So beta 2.50, unsystematic risk 0.15 we can take. So let's find out that how it will comes for standard deviation of A. See that beta 2.50 square, market variance we calculate 0.04 plus unsystematic is 0.15. So simplify 2.50 square will come 6.25 into 0.04 plus 0.15. Total of that will come 0.25 plus 0.15. So the square root of 0.4 will get 0.63 is the standard deviation of A. Same things in the point of your security C. So you can take systematic risk plus unsystematic risk. What is your beta value of C? It is 0.60 and 0.24 of unsystematic risk. So total of that beta will put, that is, see that systematic risk for security C and unsystematic beta is 0.60. Square of that market variance we calculate 0.04. It is common for whatever we calculate for B, we can take for A also, C also, multiply with them, that is 0.60 square 0.36 into 0.04 plus 0.24 will comes to the picture 0.0144 plus 0.24. Square root of 0.2544 is equal to 0.50. So that is where we can calculate the missing values, that is we should find out your beta of A and beta of C. Standard deviation of A and standard deviation of C. Then lastly we should make a table, that is which are the values we are going to find out as a missing one, that is we should find out the standard deviation of A and C and return of 0.113. So overall what we have to understand from this problem, that is when there is a CAPM with unlimited borrowing and lendings will be there, and when the missing values in the table it is given, so we can use the equation Ri is equal to find out, that is your to find out return when the missing value it is given. To find out that, we should use that equation, that is Ri is equal to Rf plus beta into Rm. This one we can use. We cannot use that CAPM equations here because the all information is not available, and basically for table purpose this we can use for this equation only. And to find out standard deviations, how to find out the standard deviation? Standard deviation is equal to square root of systematic risk plus unsystematic risk equation we can use. Unsystematic risk is given, systematic risk is not given, so we can use the alternatives of that security, that is security B is used, that is standard deviation, and find out your market variance. Once we find out the market variance, we'll get to find out your systematic risk of A and C, and with the help of unsystematic, total of that and root of that will get the standard deviation of your A and C activities only. So that's why we calculate standard deviation with the help of, that is with the help of securities B's information we can calculate standard deviation of A and C. And same things in the expected rate of returns. To find out expected rate of return, we are using expected return of A and C also. So this is what related to the questions they ask in their question paper 2017 for 15 marks purpose when CAPM with unlimited borrowings. So we can use that equations and should find out that values. So using that available information, you can find out your basic activities, basic information, and with the help of basic information you should find out the missing values. Then comes to the next question. This question for similar one. So this is again asked in their question paper 2005. Already what we solved that problem is asked in 2017. So next question it is similar with them. So again this is asked for question paper 2005. So let's practice for you people as a homework one. Then same things what we solved in the first one 2017, same thing is there, only the values has been changed. So make practice on that what I solved in the first problems. Then we will move for the next question, that is question number 3. Again this question is also asked for question paper 2014. The following table gives an analyst expected return on two stocks for particular market returns. Okay, so market return is given and two stock return is given. Market return for 2 period 5%, 1 period, second period 25%. Aggressive stocks second period and first period. Defensive stocks 18 and 8. Now the question they ask, number 1, what are the betas of two stocks? Beta question they ask, what is the expected return on each stock if the market return is equally likely to be 5% and 25%? Means they are going to be asked expected returns where market return equally likely to 5 and 25, equally likely means 50-50%. And number 3, if the risk period is 8%, what is the security market line? The question they ask. And next one, what are the alphas of two stocks? So here they ask 4 questions here, basically beta, expected returns, market returns, risk-free rate of returns, and alpha. Let's find out that how to calculate them. But see, available information, the return already given. No need to be calculated as a investment and all things. Return is already given. Only the things it is how we is to find out the betas when available information is there, ready-made available information is there. So we'll solve first question, that is first question they ask beta. So we can determine beta with the help of see how to calculate betas when directly return is given. Okay, aggressive stock and defensive stocks. Two stock purpose you should find out that betas. Now here we cannot use any kind of equation to determine because already two kind of returns it is given. So we should do that second return of minus first return and second return of market divided by 5 means beta can be measured, that is systematic risk. So systematic risk is as a market performance. So what is aggressive stock performance in the market? So second return minus first return divided by second return of market divided by first return of market. Same things in the defensive also related to market. So let's find out your beta to be considered. See 40 minus 5. Minus 5 why I have taken, because it is negative 5 it is. So 40 minus 5, so it will comes 45, and 25 minus 5, see 25 minus 5, second minus first we can take. So 40 minus 5, minus become plus, so 45, 25 minus 5 it becomes 20. So aggressive stock beta is 2.25, defensive stock same 18 minus 8 and 25 minus 5 will becomes it will come 18 minus 8 10, 25 minus 5 will come 20, so 10 divided by 20 will come 0.5. so these are the two betas of aggressive and defensive, where we compare about that aggressive stock has more risk, a defensive stock is less risk, because beta is more of aggressive stock and beta is less of defensive stocks. Second question they ask here, calculation of expected return of stocks. Now see how to find out your expected return of stock individually for aggressive stock and defensive stocks. It is given aggressive stock, expected return of the market return each stock with the market return is 5 and 25. So you can take 5 and 25 and you should find out here equally likely. Equally likely means 0.50 we can take. Okay, the proportion we can take. See, 5 first year return of aggressive stock plus second return 40, but proportion we can take 50-50. Same in the defensive also 50-50, because equally likely they mentioned. So 8% into 0.5 and 18 into 0.5 for defensive, minus 5 into 0.50 and 40 into 0.50. So total will get return of aggressive 17.5 and 13% for expected return of stocks. Here we cannot use that other things, because directly they are mentioned equally likely of 5 and 25%, means that market return performance equally likely. So you should find out the expected return with related to given returns. So 5% and 40% of 50-50, 8 and 18% of 50-50. So whatever the total will comes, that will be your expected return of aggressive stock and defensive stock 13%. Once we calculate the two questions, let's find out the number third question. If the risk-free rate is 8%, what is the security market line is to go for? Now before going of that your security market line, see that how the security market line, how to be calculate security market line. As we know about security market line, you should calculate with the help of CAPM equation only. So what is the CAPM equation? RA plus beta into RA minus RF. RF it is given in that question only. See, it is mentioned if the risk-free rate is 8%. So what is the security market line? So security market line is equal to, we can find out that 8 plus beta. RM value we don't know, so we should find out the RM value. RM value, how we are going to be calculate? Again, equally likely market performance of first year 5, second year 25 into 0.5 into 0.5. Equally likely means equal proportions 5 and 25. See, it is there in that in the problem, that is market return 5 and 25. So we can find out that market returns will get market returns equally proportion of that 5 and 15, 0.50 will get 15%. Use that 15% in the security market line equations. 15 minus 8, so we'll get 7. So your security market will comes 8 plus beta of 7. Here we cannot solve beta because individual average beta is not there, individual beta is there. So we use that this equation only. Ri is equal to 8 plus beta into 7. Don't simplify the remaining activities. Only they ask to determine security market line. They not ask here to find out expected return as per security market lines, because beta is not given and we cannot calculate. Next, I should find out the alpha. That is the fourth question they ask to find out your alpha. How to find out your alpha? Alpha is equal to, just reverse that your CAPM equation, that is Ri minus beta, Rm minus Rf. That is CAPM we are making plus, alpha is equal to just minus it. So using that equation, aggressive stock will be is equal to return of your first stock, that is, see how it is comes to 7 return of aggressive stocks we calculate, that is 17.5. see 17.5, 13%. Beta is already given 2.25 and 0.05, and RF value it is already given in the problem, that is 8%. So you can use that 17.5 as we calculate minus beta we calculate of aggressive 2.25, RM value 15 we calculate, that is, and RF value is given 8. So 15 minus 8, 7 into 2.25 will get 15.75 and minus 17.5 will get alpha is equal to 1.75. Same in the case of defensive stock also equation. Ri is 13 minus 0.5, 15 minus 8, 7 into 0.5 minus, it will come 7, 3.5 will get 13 minus 3.5, alpha will get the 9.5. So whatever information we calculate, that we can use, and you should find out the alpha of the stock. So this is what the another questions they ask, where on the basis of that is available information to determine alpha, beta, XP returns, and drawing security market line, other activities. So using that informations, when this kind of information, ready-made information is available, you just find out that beta can be second year minus first year, second year minus first year, related to market for beta. Return equally likely means 0.50 of 5% and 40. Return will get 50 of 8%, 50 of 18% will get defensive. Same things market, 0.15 into 5, 0.15 into 25, and RF, that is security market line, put as it is. Alpha, it is just minus that RI minus beta into RA minus RF. You whatever calculated values you can put, and you should find out the alpha values as per the given problem. That is, this question is asked 2014 for 15 marks, not for 5 marks. So make practice on that. And next question, similar with them, similar is there what we solved in the next 2014 question papers. So just practice of that, what I solved in the question number 3. The similar way of question number 4 is there. Remaining problems we will discuss in the next class. Like and subscribe for this channel for upcoming videos. In the next videos we will be solving the 2 more problems on the question paper. Thank you.